I think for me, it has been a journey where your gifts have been harnessed. It's been a journey where, from a young age actually, where your gifts are identified and yet channeled in the right direction to kind of advance yourself and develop those skills. So that's just a generic kind of answer, but it's been a journey where your gifts are harnessed, where you take, you seize those opportunities, and yes, you evolve, you develop your skills, and those opportunities come and you take advantage of them. It's also been a journey of, I think, setting goals, where with those goals you are able to seize those opportunities and make use of them. And so I think in a nutshell that has been, that's a generic way of describing how I found myself here. I think one challenge has been the issue of I think balancing your career and family. I think for me that's one issue that I've experienced, but also it's not always a matter of fighting it, but working around it. You find a way of having to, I think, maximize on what comes your way. And so even in situations where you had to make one choice against the other, you kind of use it to maximize yourself, even in that time. So I think for me, it's the balance of career and family. And of course, one of them is more important than the other. I will not tell you which one, but yes, I always work around such challenges. I think mentorship is very important because it helps those upcoming, for example, researchers in this institution to be given a platform where they can advance themselves, a platform where they can, I think, have this knowledge transferred to them, these skills transferred to them. And so it is very important that young ones who are coming in, for example, with just the knowledge of something can have this practical aspect to things. So mentorship is very important. I believe so. I think I have, though not formally. It may have been a kind of informal setup, but yes, in a way I have. And also I think it's also important to realize that even when you want to be mentored, it's not always you waiting on the mentor to come to you, but you also take the step and reach out to someone if you need that kind of mentorship. So I would say I have had it, though not formalized, but it has been there in one way. So indirectly. I think for you to have balance in life, you need to plan. It's all about planning. It's working around your circumstance. It's always working around what life avails to you. So it's always an issue of, I think, partitioning time for different activities in your life. So it also requires a lot of discipline, determination on how that you achieve even what you've set for yourself. So I think it's very important. I think no one size fits all. But at the end of the day, plan what your circumstance is and work around it. So with gender equality, I think, so from my perspective, from my understanding, we're talking about the rights, the opportunities, the privilege that are available to everyone, regardless of who they are, male, female, whether they're living with a disability. So for me, I think it's important that resources are available to everyone, but also taking into consideration that others may be already disadvantaged. So it's a way in which we package those resources and opportunities to them. So for example, someone in a rural setup compared to another who's here, it might be the same resource, but package it in a way that it's effectively used. So that is, I think, my generic answer. So I'm a very private person, so I'll give you another generic aspect. But I think for me it was, one achievement was to publish my research in a high impact factor journal. it takes a little blood and sweat, but to achieve that was, I think, a pat on my own back, and yes, that is one achievement I can share with you. I think it's generally being tenacious, just having the tenacity to push hard, work hard at something. It's not giving up. It's all to do with knowing what you want to achieve. Have that goal, have that dream. You always gravitate toward that. So it's having that dream, having the hard work, working hard, but also working smartly, being tenacious, and just harness those. I think it's also important to know what you're good at. Harness those. Sometimes you may know, sometimes people may tell you what you're good at. Harness those. And try and develop yourself in that sense. It's very important to embrace everyone. Know your team, know their strengths, their weaknesses, and I think create an environment where they're free to share their ideas, express themselves, so that you can use all their different contributions to achieve your goal. So it's very important to, I think, not drive the whole process alone, but make sure you bring them on board. I think some organizations are already doing it, but I think I would like to see a place where women are able to, I think women are accommodated, because I think women have, especially in your CV and career journey, where you have these gaps, women finding themselves being away from work to take care of a family or children. I think women should not be made to feel, you're being left behind. I think it's a noble task that a woman can step back and raise children. So I think if there can be an accommodation of that, phase in life for women, that would be a plus. And I think women should not even feel guilty about stepping back. It is a noble task. So if I think I would be very happy to see that harnessed in a lot of different organizations. That women are supported, even as they go through the different phases of their lives.
I've been motivated from the first person that I saw was a librarian, Miss Mtini. She was a librarian for National Assembly. That's the first place I worked from, and I was so surprised that there were people who were happy to be librarians and to be at the top. She was the head of the whole department, and I was really like, okay, because most of the places I would go to, I would find men. But when I was engaged to that library, I came to find this woman, and then what she had achieved. By that time, she already had a PhD. And then I was thinking, okay, so even in this career, you can still do something. You can be somebody great. You can do great things even if you've done library studies. So it was more like she was my role model at that time. Yes. That's the first person I saw in the profession, and it's like she was happy with her position, she was happy with what she was doing, and she was a person that would relate to each employee in the department. The department at the National Assembly is very big, but she was able to go to each and every office and relate to all the employees who were working under her. She was very easy to relate with, open-minded. It was easy to, even like when you have a problem, you go and see her. It's not like a boss where you're even scared to get into an office. No. So she's the one that really motivated me, and I told myself I'm going to go ahead with this profession. The challenges that I've gone through in my career, there are quite many. I'll start with I started work when I was young, and I had the lowest qualification. So I started upgrading myself. So the challenges that you face, it's within your peers. When you start developing yourself and they are remaining behind, they sort of like don't accept you being on that position. They still think you are at the same level. So you kind of find familiarity. Like even when you're doing things which are serious, they will not accept. Another challenge that I also found is for you to prove out to even your superiors, coming from that background where you're coming as you are upgrading yourself up to the level that I've reached, you really have to like prove yourself that you can do certain things. So I've come down from the ladder and I've realized that for people to accept you, you need to prove to them that you know what you're doing. So that one, just to prove to people that it means you have to go out of the box to do things that they will realize that, okay, this is what this department has done. So you do things which are out of the box, out of what is already there, out of reality, so that they are able to like accept you. So it's really a challenge when you are in the same place, working at the same place, and you're just going up the ladder. Not everyone will accept it. Not everyone will accept your growth. I don't know why, maybe in this Zambian society, most people don't accept when they see a person growing. There'll always be, some will think you're not going to do it, some will not even trust you with something, not until you prove to them that you can do it. So I would say, I think that has been my major challenge, but I have managed to overcome it. Personal life should not be linked to your career. Professional life should be separated. Why do I say so? When we come for work, we need to be professional in all our dealings. I should not bring my personal life at my workplace. It can be a hazard to me, not even to me, but also to the people that are around me. Because what we do out there is all social. And it might not maybe even conflict. It might even conflict with what you do in your career. So I'd suggest with every person in whichever profession, we need to take our jobs in a professional way. So most of the people don't have the etiquette. So the same way you want to bring maybe the family life, you want to bring the things that you do at home and the weekends, even the people at your workplace should be able to know all those things. That's your private life. So personally, I prefer to be private. Of course, once in a while you'll be able to know a few things about me in my personal life, but I have always wanted my personal life to be private. Reason best known to myself, because I wouldn't want what I do out there to be known at the office. Not that it's bad, but that's outside. It's not involving work. This is why even if somebody came to report somebody in my department doing something outside work, I can only advise. I cannot make a decision over a report that is coming outside work. It's a personal life. Every person has got a right to private life. So we are not supposed to mix professional life and personal life. I think NISIR so far is on the right track, I would say, because they've all embraced the women. Why do I say so? Most places, or maybe the African setup, they always want to say men should be at the front of everything. But that does not mean certain women cannot be in higher position. So it's not that they are just women around NISIR that have been given position. So I'll just start by telling you that if you look around, you find that most of the women that are heading departments are women. And those departments are doing well. But they are all women. Why? So it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that a woman cannot lead. A woman can also lead. A woman has potential to do well. So when you look at NISIR, I think those are the initiatives they've created, because the country as a whole, our government, is really encouraging women to do STEM. Even at the universities now, they are really encouraging people, like enrollment should be 51 plus for women. So this entails that women so far are actually being recognized in workplaces.
I started working for NISIR in 2003. I just came in on a project, and that was looking at food safety. And then from there, I never saw myself as ending there. So I desired to go higher in what I was doing, because the person that I was working with was actually a woman as well. And she talked, I loved the way she was working. I loved the way she was providing the leadership. So from there, I was motivated and thought, okay, from here, I think I might not end here. I should go high in my education. Science, you cannot come in with a BSc and say I'll end here. So when I looked at my leader then, the head of Center for Food Science, I thought I can be like her. And she encouraged us to be like her. She encouraged us to work and to just have an open mind. So from there, I decided to do more, to give my best, and she encouraged us to do our best. And from there, I thought, okay, I can go higher, I can start better. And I was thinking to say, if she's providing this for me, I think if I get where she is, I should also do something like that. So this is what actually influenced me. And from there, I decided to say, okay, I can go for a master's, and then from a master's, you consider yourself to say, okay, now I'm beginning to do the science. So from the master's, I come back, I work a little bit, and then there was still that encouragement from the people around. So I thought I can even go and do my PhD. So I did go and do my PhD, and when you get to do your PhD, you meet people from different places, and you find that, actually, I know nothing. So there's more that I need to know. And looking at Zambia, the way we are, and the universities that we attended, they're so different from the universities that we attend when you go to do your PhD. You find their PhD is more or less like, it's a must. But for us, you go to these universities, they don't have to say they need so many PhDs at the end of the year. So it was something that motivated me to say, well, this is something I can achieve. And I was hoping, and I'm still hoping to say, once I achieve this, more women will be influenced to say, I want to be like her. Because I had somebody that was saying, I want to be like this doctor. The head of department then, the head of food science department then. So this is what influenced me. Yeah.
What challenges have you faced in this area? How did you overcome them?
Of course, some challenges, some are societal, some again, they are within the workplace, where sometimes men are men, and then they get things that they are work related, but they talk about them among the men, where they feel a man can do better than a woman. And you find there's an information, it first gets to the men, and when the men say, we cannot do this, I want to mention what information, when they decide to say, this can't be done by us, can you that's when it goes to a woman, it goes, so these are the challenges that usually did affect the position that I'm at. And again, apart from that, when we talk about societal, it's always, I started working the moment I started working, that's the time I had a baby. So there's always, who's gonna stay with the child? Who's going to look after the child? You cannot go for this long, you cannot do this, you cannot travel, you cannot, all that kind of thing. But if you've got a good support system, this good support system is going to be from the other ladies, often from the mother-in-law, from the sisters-in-law. I had a good support system from my sister-in-law. And she, when I needed to move out, to go out of the country to do whatever it is, whether it's a meeting, whether it's school, whatever it was, this sister-in-law of mine would be there for me. She would stay with my children. I go for 2 years, I go for a year, I go for 3 years. She's there staying with my children. So a good support system among the women, even with the men, it's very good. So I also had support from my husband. Yeah, he would say, yeah, it's good for you, you've got to do it. Yeah, I can stay with the children. At some point he did. When I went for my PhD, it's my husband that stayed with my children. When I went to do my master's, this good sister-in-law of mine was the one that stayed with my children. So if you have this good support system, it's very good. But we need to remember also to say, while we are doing all this, going for work, doing what, it's about the people. How do we relate with the people? For them to make it, for you to make it successful, it's how you relate with the people. It doesn't matter which people, where you are going, and the people you're leaving behind. If you've got a good relationship with them, then it means it will go well with you. So at the end of the day, it's about the people. So I went through a certain experience, and when I look back, I say, when a certain person comes and they need help from me, I would make it this way so that it works better for them. So mentorship is very, very important for women. Not only coming from the fellow women, but even the men. They can also provide mentorship. This when we talk about gender, it means it's gender balance, huh? It's gender balance. There's a support that the men can give to a woman that will make her successful, and there's also a support that a woman can get from a fellow woman that will make this thing work well. So it's support has to come both ways. Yeah, and you should be open to learn. You should be open to learn. You should not say, because mentorship is not only what I talk about. I'll give you an example of the same head of center that I had, a lady head of center. Much of what was prompting me to do better was what she was actually doing within herself. It wasn't like she sits you down, this is what I want you to do, this is how you can do it better, because me, I've been to this university and go. But what she was doing, the treatment that she gave us, for us, she gave us the treatment to say, you can do it, it's there within you. So we try to discover ourselves in that. But by trying to discover ourselves, this is where we are at now. It's not just, I'm saying we, because it's not just me. It is also with the other ladies that we're working with. And then at the end of the day, we just found ourselves building this team of ladies, strong team of ladies that would work and work independently. So this is great. Mentorship is very, very important. Not just within, not just from fellow women, but from within and without. So that is very, very important. Yeah. Usually people are at different stages in their lives, and the way we handle things, we handle them differently. I'd say with women, we don't balance things the way men balance things. If you tell a man to say, you've got to go to the UK today, they'll pack their suitcase and go. But if you tell me to say I should go to the UK today, I have to think, who's going to stay with my children? Who's going to be washing for my husband? Who's going to be cooking? Who's going to be taking this? It takes a little bit of arrangement for you to say you're going to do this thing. Talking about balance, do I balance? Balancing, you need to know how to also trust people to do certain things for you. I trust my mother-in-law. When she comes, she will look after this thing. I trust my sister-in-law. I trust my sister. She's going to put this money, give them this money. So if we don't trust other people and we put all the work on ourselves, it becomes very, very difficult. And it affects even the way you work. So if you can entrust or you can assign certain responsibilities to the people around. Remember, I told you to say it's about the people. To achieve whatever you need to achieve, it's about the people. So we need to have this team around us, the support team. So if you trust the support team, mind you, if you leave your husband, I've left my husband to do my school. When I went to do my school in South Africa, he stayed with my babies for about 3 years. And the small one was 3 years old. There was 3 years and 6 years. He stayed with them for 3 years. Trust them to say whatever they will do, however they will do it, for as long as they're not killing anybody, it is fine. They might not do it as well as you do it. So just trust them. So how I balance my work and my professional and social life is just trusting and getting advice from my friends. I've got good friends also around me that just give me super advice how to handle certain things. But to say everything I do, I cannot do everything for myself. It goes back to my support team. It's very good. I love the first project that I did. You know, I still love my mentor. Yeah, she's late now. Yeah, Dr. Zulu. The first project that brought me to NISIR was the issue of food safety. So we're looking at food safety that was informally vended, the food that was, you know, these shimas and vitumbuas and whatever else they cook in the markets. So we're trying to improve the safety of that food. So we really worked hard with the city council, with the health authorities and the traders in the markets. And this is what brought, you know, this idea of when you go to the markets now to see these people that are cooking the shima, you find that now they wear the hat like a cook. They also wear beautiful aprons. Yeah, sometimes they can be dirty, but you know, that thing has stayed on because of the same project that we had. And I'm so happy. Each time I see that, I say, wow, we did something. Yeah. Well, skills, I think communication. I can communicate better, and also the issue of apart from communication, I can communicate better. I communicate. It can also go to the way I relate. I relate better, and when it comes to work, I'll say I don't favor. I treat ladies and gentlemen the same way, and this thing of entrusting, when I give people an assignment, I entrust them to say they can. Somebody has a certain skill within my group. I know that this person has a certain skill and they can do this thing better. We give them that assignment to say you can do this thing better. Yeah, you know, we need, there's this thing that I usually have, that I don't want to take things that are from home, you know, where you take home issues, you bring them into someone's work. You know, there's some people that don't relate with their neighbor, but they work together, and then I get that report at work. This is what this person was doing at home. And say, oh, that one should stay at home. Let's look at the skill. We are doing work here, we are not doing home issues. Let home issues be home, but let's relate as workmates. And I love to get advice from the high people high, people low. And then once you get this advice, I put that ability to say, we've got to put the advice down and see how it's going to benefit. That is very easy. And I think that has helped me a lot. NISIR is still very well when it comes to employing women. You know, they say it's equal employer, but if you look around, look at the women in leadership, the heads of center. Apart from one, all the heads of center are women. So we are doing quite okay as NISIR now, but it doesn't have to end at the heads of center. We also have to employ more ladies. Yeah, I'm not saying more ladies, more and less men. We still have to maintain this equal employer. If a lady is qualified, let the lady come. If the man is qualified, let the man come. But we need to have this deliberate thing to say we need to be balancing. Yeah, and again for the women that are out there, they should not fear the professionals that, especially the sciences, where you have the engineering, the mechanics, you know, those hard ones. You know, if you look around, we are still lagging on that one. Yeah, a lot of them would want to do sciences that are related to biology. I do microbiology, biotechnology, blah, 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 you know, those biology things. But we leave this engineering stuff, thinking it should be handled by, you know, muscles and. You know, I think we should have more women to strive to do more engineering, to do more mathematics related things. So I think the Rome, you know, Zambia, NISIR, the universities, they are ready to have such women around. So it's just up to the women to just say, here I am, I'll apply myself. They are able to do it. If a man can do it, a young woman can do it. Even better. So.
So from me, from the Met department, I would like to say Happy Women's Day to all the ladies at NISIR, to all the ladies in Zambia. So Happy Women's Day. Thank you.
I'm wishing the women a Happy Women's Day, which is yet to come on the 8th of March 2024. You are precious, not just in the homes, but even in workplaces. You make the place just colorful in every area that you are around. So Happy Women's Day to all the women in Zambia.
Thank you.
And at NISIR.
Oh, the women of NISIR, the young ladies, the old women that are about to come out of NISIR, I wish you a very, 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 very happy Women's Day. Remember, you always be a woman in and out of NISIR. We'll remain women. Keep it up. You are doing a great job. Thank you.